Hello, this is John from the Haunt Informer,
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and this is episode 21 of Fall Informer. And we have a special guest, Kim of Kim's Crypt.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Kimskrypt.com is the website. I have so much to say, but I'll let you ask the questions. And I'm in my living room, so no, I'm not actually at the haunt. I got a lot of cool collectibles here, but I will let you answer the questions, and then I will talk. So let's do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
So I guess I'll kick it off with the first question. What got you into haunts and wanting to be an owner of a haunt?
Well, way back when I was 9 years old, my parents took me to Disney World in Florida. And I went through the Haunted Mansion, and I was on the ride, and I saw the ghosts and all the cool stuff. And I loved that. And then Dad took me in the gift shop, and I bought my first horror mask, which was an old man mask back in the day. And I wore it home on 95 South, scaring everybody. Actually, 95, that would be 95 North, scaring everybody in the car. And it was really fun, and I loved it. And then we made our first monster. You know, my dad stuffed his clothes with newspaper, and we put boots on him. And I found that picture. So I'm going to be I can post that picture. I can send it to you. I found a picture of that old man mask I used to have way back in the 70s, and it was really cool. So I wanted to go back to Disney World every year to get a new monster mask. I'm like, so then I did. I got the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I got a Wolfman, and I went back and got them. And then I discovered, oh, Spencer's Gifts and downtown Baltimore, they had mask stores, and I would get more stuff, and start getting like black lights and strobe lights and things like that. So I started small as just decorating my parents' living room, and then I started everywhere I moved to, and started like decorating and making scenes and windows and monsters in the yard, and put them on the roof and everything. And then Kim's Crypt officially started at my house in 1994, and had actors and people coming through. And basically that's how it started. But I always loved, like, I collected monster models, the old Aurora monster models. And I had always like the old comic books. What was it? Like House of Mysterious Secrets and Eerie and Creepy and all of them. So I always loved it. And it just kind of evolved from there.
Nice.
Awesome. And so when did you move into this location now at Kim's Crypt?
You mean where we are now, as far as like Kim's Crypt Haunted Mill?
Yes.
Kim's Crypt Haunted Mill used to be, I took it over in 2014. I went to an auction, and I bought it at an auction. It used to be the Haunted Mill Scream Park, which has been around for 34 years. And Kim's Crypt has been around for 29 years. So we combined the names, because they already had a following, and so do we. So we figured we would call it Kim's Crypt Haunted Mill once I purchased that at the auction in 2014. And it was only 4 attractions at the time. And then we expanded to 6. And now we have 5 plus a zombie escape room. And we brought back the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor, and the 3rd floor of the Haunted Mill. So that's 4 floors. And it actually has ashes of the dead in the basement and everything. But it is an amazing place, 62.5 acres. And it's crazy, freaky fun, and we're always expanding, and I love it there. It's only an hour from my house too, so it works out. Yes.
Nice. Awesome. So this is something I definitely want to ask you. I really like the older Distortion Unlimited props. I think it's awesome that you have those, and it's definitely different from other haunts I've been to. You can really see the vintage props. And I wanted to ask you, what is the oldest Distortion Unlimited prop at the Haunted Mill?
Well, I could tell you the one I actually bought was an electric chair back in 1998. We actually drove to New York to get it. And it was the first, I would say, real prop that I owned as like an animatronic. And I still have that one, but now I have 2 of the same kind, and they're kind of next to each other. And there's a little special surprise in the middle of that. So when you go through the basement of the Haunted Mill, that's where they are now. And that was the first one that I bought. But I believe at the it was the Haunted Mill. Now it's Kim's Crypt Haunted Mill. They have an old, what is he? He's the big one in the House of Eyes, and he kind of shakes, and he's big, and he's got a big belly. And I forgot what that thing is called. It's real big and old, and that's been around for a long time. but there's a lot of old historic pieces there too, rather than just the like distortion products. There's old, like there's a mill wheel that came with the property because it used to be a grist mill, and there's historic pieces there that you can't find anywhere else. And instead of like covering them up with props, we kind of incorporate them into the scene. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I love my distortions props. I have a lot of those, but that electric chair, you know, remember the guy who's in the chair like this, and you walk by, and he goes, and he shakes, and he smokes, he screams. It's cool. I love that. But that's my newest prop that I have. But there's a lot of older ones that they have there that are very, very historic. So love it.
Cool. Alrighty. So this is something I definitely want to talk to you about. I really enjoyed the Dragon Lair and the Horror of Menges Mill. That was so well done. I loved it. And what was the process of creating that scene? How do you build that scene?
We expanded the Horror of Menges Mill last year, and we knew that we were building new rooms and expanding it because my goal was to put a roof over it, because I was tired of people going through and like halfway through or near the end, they were getting wet because we never had a roof on it. So I'm like, put a roof on this thing and then we'll just make new rooms. Well, there was a lot more rooms than I expected. So I knew I had a lot of coffins. So I'm like, all right, we're going to make this a coffin room. And I knew I had a lot of zombies. So we're going to incorporate vampires in the zombies back, into this, that. But the dragons started because I saw Ed's ad for his dragons on the wall, the legends.
Yeah.
So I saw those first. I'm like, oh, they're neat. And he had like 6 different ones. There was blue, red, green.
Yeah.
I think, all the colors. So I saw them. I said, that would be neat. I said, we should do that. So I started buying dragons. So I bought a couple at a time. I'm like, well, you can't just have 2 or 3. So I bought all of them. Then I got all 6. Then I said, well, I got 2 other ones that had that flap to go, and they go, and they got the LED lights and the smoke coming out of their mouths. They were cool. I got those, I believe, from Morris Costumes. Then I found on eBay somebody in Rockville, Maryland, who had an old Distortions dragon, like the purple one, and he's animated and he smokes and talks. I got him on eBay and went and picked that up. And then I got the big one. The huge one that comes out at you and pins you up against the wall, and he spits at you, and he's got the LED lights in his mouth. Actually, I had them put them in there. I wanted to spit, and I wanted to have LED lights, and the smoke comes out. It's really, really cool. So that, and then I had one of my actors, which is name's Chad Cookie. He's one of our clowns. He's a line entertainer. He distressed it and did all the walls to make it look like a cave and everything. And he's an amazing. He does great set design, and he did that whole thing. And we were up there like every night, every weekend. He had his dog up there. He was up on a ladder, and his dog was climbing the ladder. It was really cool. So we were in there for hours and hours doing that. And now we're even adding more to the Dragon's Lair. So the room that's before it that had like some unique looking creatures, we're going to incorporate that into dragons as well. Because now I got 2 more. And I got some skeleton dragons. So we're going to incorporate even more dragons to that. So you're going to see more this year when you come for halfway to Halloween, and definitely the Halloween season at Kim's Krypt, Haunted Mill, Spring Grove, PA, kimskrypt.com.
Yes, got the flyer. Yes.
In addition to that, this is going to lead into my next question. In addition to your halfway Halloween and the Halloween season, you also do paranormal investigations.
Yes, we do. And they're on the back of the flyer right here. So check this out. We do paranormal investigations.
Any stories about that? You got any good stories for the paranormal fans out there?
I do. Paranormal investigations are at Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill, and we have different ones, and they're put on by the Ghost Pit, and they are the professionals. They have the equipment. They have the knowledge. They've been doing this for a long time. They take you through. I have nothing to do with going through. I just run the gift shop. So I'm not scaring you. There's no jump scares. There's no, sneaky behind the scenes stuff. I don't do anything. We don't go in there. There's no actors. It is the real deal. So what happens in there is really happening And it's not, you know, because a lot of people think, oh, you're in there scaring people. No, no, I'm not. I've had people say they've heard voices, they've heard children's voices. I've had people come out shaken and they had to cleanse them. It is crazy. And the main two buildings that investigate is the Haunted Mill, which was built in the 1700s. And that's the 4-story building. And that's the one that's actually on the back of the flyer here, the Haunted Mill. And then the House of Eyes, which is the barn that's across the street. That has a lot of activity in it too. let me tell you a story. Okay. Jamie Hess, he was our manager of the House of Eyes. He was in there one night working by himself and he was doing his thing, you know, and he was by himself. And all of a sudden this 2x4 came flying at his head and landed on like went into the wall. And he figured, okay, he'd hear the footsteps of the person that threw it or whatever happened, and he didn't. And he looked everywhere and he couldn't find out what happened, who did it, or what was going on. So then a couple weeks later, another team of investigators came and they investigated and they were in the basement and they went all the way through. And then when they were finished, they came over to me and they said, wow, there's a lot of activity in that House of Eyes, especially in that one room. And then they kept saying, I don't know what it is. And they said something about wood. I'm like, wait a minute, what? They said wood. I said, did you talk to Jamie? They said, no, who's Jamie? So they didn't even know him. And they had the same experience, but it was kind of like that was kind of freaky. You know, they knew it was something that had to do with wood in that area. And then it was the same area that he was in. So it's pretty crazy. And the wall, there's still a hole in the wall of that javelin type of wood that came at his head. And I have grown men and managers that won't even go in there by themselves at night because they're scared, or they won't even go in there. They're very afraid to go in the House of Eyes, but it's pretty cool.
Is that where the name came from? House of Eyes?
No, actually the name was there. The name was there when I bought the place and I just kept it. But also about, I would say maybe a month ago, some of my full-time workers, I have a day crew that works eight hours a day. They were in the basement of another building and they were shoveling and digging and they found real bones in the basement. And one of my workers, he actually had to get out. He's like, this is freaking me out. I have to get out. He got out of the basement and they called the police and the police had to come investigate because they found real bones. And I was one of the last to know. And I'm the owner. I'm like, why would you call me? You know, because I'm home putting a dryer in my house and it was pretty crazy. So I posted it on Facebook and everything, but it was really neat. They found real bones. So our next investigation is, I don't know when this is going to be aired, but April 9th is our next investigation. You can go to kimskrypt.com and get your tickets. We have one a month all the way through September, and they're really cool and they're a lot of fun. And everybody that goes, they just love it. And we have a lot of repeat customers that come to a lot of them per year and just find unique things in there. So it's definitely an experience that you want to check out.
That's really cool. Because I saw about the posts on social media. I was like, wonder what they actually found, because you're like, so that's interesting.
It is. It is. And we're building a museum and they found an old soup can in there and everybody's like, oh, that's worth something. They don't even make that kind of Campbell's soup anymore. They find stuff all the time. They found an old baseball on the wall. They found an old pair of shoes, like baby shoes in the wall. It's crazy what they find up there because it's such an old historic property that there's always something. So it's really, really, a lot of people go to haunted houses and you can see the cool props, you can see the things that are bought, but at Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill, you're going to see things you don't see anywhere because of the history of the property.
Yes, definitely. So something that really stood out to me in the House of Eyes was the really low clearance in one of the rooms. And I wanted to know when you designed that, because that was so intense. You walk in and you're like this. And the first time I went through that, normally when you go through a haunted house and there's a low clearance, it ends at some point.
Yeah.
But it felt like it kept on going on. And that was so intense. So I wanted to know if you designed that.
Yes, we did. We did. It's funny that you say that because some people love it and some people hate it. And it's not a lot of people say, oh, do you have to crawl? No, you don't have to crawl. You just have to get down enough where you don't know when to come back up because it's so dark. Yes. And then sometimes people are banging on the walls and sometimes you hear people in the walls. We did that, I want to say maybe 4 years ago or so,
Oh, okay.
or maybe, yeah, because I bought it in 2014, and then we made some changes. We're always making changes, but that's been there for a while. Like I said, some people love it, some people hate it, but it's kind of cool because it kind of just goes on and you don't know where the end is. And people that are claustrophobia or afraid of the dark, it's a good little extra scare for them. So I'm probably going to keep it for a little bit.
Yeah, you should. I've never seen that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't get to go through the Terror Trail. I went during the haunt season. I saw you, talked to you, but it
Yeah.
was really rainy that night, so I didn't get to go through the Terror Trail. But luckily, you let me go through another haunt attraction. I went through the Horror Menges Mill again, so turned
Yeah,
out all
you
right.
did.
So
Yeah.
that was awesome. So
Yeah.
what would
You
you
came up-
experience? What?
You came on a rainy night, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're talking about because the Winter Wonder Trail was open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just to let the people know. In December, we do a Winter Wonder Trail that's totally Christmas, family friendly, stroller friendly, pet friendly. You can bring wagons. It's really cool, and it's Christmas music, Santa Claus, elves, and nothing scary in the Winter Wonder Trail. And that's open for 5 weekends, as well as the one weekend that we do Kim's Christmas. That's very scary in one attraction, which was the horror this past year. So I just want to differentiate, because a lot of people think, oh, you did the trails open too? The trails open for the Christmas event.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I went on that Christmas trail. It was nice.
Oh, thanks.
So for people that haven't been on the Terror Trail like I haven't during the haunt season, what would you expect to see? Like, what kind of sets do you go through?
Oh, during the Terror Trail.
Yeah.
Well, we have a really cool Universal monsters area where you're going to see Frankenstein and Dracula, the Mummy, the Phantom of the Opera. So we have that. And also I have a little collector's area where you're going to see the old Telco animatronics, the Telco motionettes that move, that are very rare. They're in there, and it's a really neat area to see some of the collection that I have. And you can take pictures in that area too. And there's like a little Freddy on the wall, and some really unique stuff in there. But there's a little clown area. There's there's this big old, remember the old beetle bugs? The Volkswagen Beetle, there's a beetle there, and it looks like a spider. That's in there.
Oh, so that's what I saw during the Winter Wonderland Trail.
Yes. Yeah, it's still in there, but we like put bows and wreaths on it and lights and make it look pretty,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Geez, what we have? We have a pumpkin area, and we actually kept a Christmas area in there for the in the Terror Trail. We kept a Christmas area purposely, so we had like a Frosty walking around and a Christmas tree walking around, kind of to promote the Winter Wonder Trail too. So, and then we had Krampus coming out in that area. We have a toxic scene with a bunch of barrels and UV lighting. We have Cletus in his shack. He's kind of like, the hillbilly with the gun, and not only does he shoot you with his gun, and he's got like fire and flames in there. And we have a lot of vibrating bridges. So there's lots of sound and things, like not only the sound that you hear from the speakers, but like you're walking across the bridge, all of a sudden it's like, and people go, ooh, what's that? We have, it's like bean shakers in our bridges. And as you're going through the Terror Trail, it's really cool because you got the moonlight from above, and there's the creek is there too. So you're going over bridges, and you can hear the creek. You can see the water, and it's really neat. And what else do we have? Oh, we have an excellent chainsaw scene at the end, where our chainsaw guy's probably 6'6", 6'8". He's a tall guy, and he's pretty intimidating. But this coming year, we are adding a lot to the Terror Trail. We're really upping our game in the Terror Trail because, and the cemetery was new this past year too. Lots of really cool, like real tombstones and things like that. So there's lots to look at as you're getting scared. And the asylum scene was excellent. Very detail oriented, and lots of sound, sights, and smells in there. So that was pretty cool area as well. But we're adding a lot to it this year. I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be a whole lot of new stuff that you're going to see. Lots of animatronics, lots of and characters as well, because we do, not only have the characters, props, animatronics, like to have an equal mix of all to scare the people, to give them a little diversity, because that's, because if you have too much of one and not the other, people get bored with it. So we always
Yeah.
try to keep it diverse, new, exciting, and different. So
Lots exciting, lots of
Oh.
cool things are in store. You have to see it only at Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill.
Spring Grove, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
KimsCrypt.com.
Before we started recording, you mentioned a new midway for this
Yeah.
upcoming season. Can you kind of elaborate on what to expect with a more bigger, expanded midway?
Yes, the new midway was well needed because of the structure of the property and how it is. I bought 2 brand new big walk-through security metal detectors, and I think that people are going to feel good about that, because it's going to keep everybody safe, not only our actors but our customers as well. So you have to be, you're going to walk through, and if you have any weapons, it's not going to happen this year, none. So we have that. We're going to have like different queue lines. We're moving things around. We're going to have a big stage. So not only we have our DJ, we might have bands there. Of course, I play drums in the band Scarlet Angel. I don't know how I'm going to play bands and do the Kim's Krypt thing at the same time, but you never know. So we're going to have bands. We want to have more games. We're going to have lots more games. We're going to have more escape rooms. We're going to have more to do in there. And when you go through and I bought my own food truck this year. So we're going to have more food, more fun, more just like almost kind of carnival-like theme. It's going to be a lot going on in there. So, because the way we had it now, yeah, we have food trucks, but it's going to be more like immersed in one area. And we're going to expand our gift shop. And then for the future, for next season, we're going to actually have a big museum that shows off my collectibles and the history of Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill. It's going to be really cool. But the midway is going to be awesome this year. So really, really looking forward to that. And of course, all our characters, Trixie, Cookie, Sluggo, they're going to be out there, Maggot, and we're going to do it with the hearse rides and the coffin rides as well. So they're going to be out there entertaining you as you're trying to eat your food and have fun. So we have a lot of entertainers and interaction as well, as you know.
Yes, yes, I do know.
Talk about that for a minute, because I know, like, I've been to the different haunts where you have like simulated coffin rides. You just get into a coffin and they kind of shake it. You actually have legit coffin rides.
Yes,
Like,
she
you get
does.
into a coffin. John's been in it.
Yeah.
John knows.
I know.
Well, I own 3 hearses that drive, and I have another 4th one that's in the trail that doesn't. So the 68 is my favorite. It's beautiful. It's a black Cadillac Crown Superior hearse. And then I have a 92 silver hearse. And I have also an 88 black one. But the 68 is the one I just give people rides in. They get in the back. We put on the spooky music, and we have a black light, and we talk. And we just talk. Whatever they want to talk about, you get to talk to me about, whether it's your experience there, what you felt, what you liked, how long we've been doing it. And then I ask them, where are you from? How'd you find out? And I talk to the customers, because I love getting the feedback from the customers, so we can, learn, grow, and always please the customers. The silver one is the one where we actually pull the coffin out. We open the coffin, we lay you in, and then we close it, put you in, and there's some spooky music playing while you're taking a ride. So you're going to feel the bumpiness of it, but you're not going to know where you are. So we take a ride, and you're in the dark in a coffin the whole time closed. So like I always say, don't let your first hearse ride be your last. It's only at Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill, Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, KimsCrypt.com. You went on a ride several times, didn't you? At least a couple times.
I went for the normal. I went for halfway to Halloween, and then I did it for Christmas. And I thought it was different for Christmas, because not only were you all festive, like a demented Santa Claus and everything, you also had Christmas music playing. You had covers of like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, we did. I do that purposely. Yeah, we did. That was fun, because we want to change it up for people and give them a different experience. Because a lot of people say, you really closed the lid, can I breathe in there? I said, We haven't lost anybody yet, so I guess they can breathe.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
it's quite comfortable. I've had people actually fall asleep in there, and sometimes we put people in there, like 2 people at a time, and it
Oh
works.
wow.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a different experience, and people love it. And we're always trying to change, expand, and do something different. So you never know what we're going to do next. But that's one of the things that Kim's Krypt has been doing for a long time.
So going back to the original one, you say where you sit in the back and you have the spooky music and the lights, and you get to do. Me and John, we got to plan something to go out there together and get an interview with you in the back of this.
Yes.
First.
Yeah.
Right.
That
I
would
mean,
be awesome.
that needs to be done.
It does. That would be really cool because that's because people. I mean, I'm all over the place at the haunt, but when we get in the hearse and talk, because a lot of people they want to talk to the owner, they want to and I try to be everywhere, but I can't be everywhere all the time. But it's a unique experience to talk, and I love to hear the feedback because I want to know what's going on because I don't always do everything. Like I might think that this scare is working here, but it's really not because maybe the first person's getting it, but the rest of them aren't. So I got to rearrange it. I got to move this. I got to, like tweak it. So it's important to me to hear the feedback from the customers, but it's a fun time. And a lot of people get back there with their group. And then sometimes I turn the lights off. Sometimes I make, talk to them. And sometimes like Cookie or Trixie or somebody will ride with them in the back if they request that. So it's pretty cool. But we're going to be changing it a little bit. But yeah, it's a neat experience. And I love to see you guys. Come on out and we'll have an interview.
Definitely. We got to set that up.
We got to set that up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Yep. And we also have we have a snack shack and we sell all kind of really cool stuff in there because I love my candy now. Candy. And I don't drink soda anymore or caffeine, but we have some Gatorade in there. We have some hot chocolate and cool stuff. But like I said, we're expanding that as well. I'm trying to think of what else. Our gift shop is awesome. We probably have more stuff in that gift shop, and than anybody. Not only do we sell t-shirts, hats, hoodies, dog tags, socks, wristbands, bracelets. What else do we have? Fidget spinners.
You got shoes.
Yes, shoes. I mean, you don't even anything you want in there. We have people. You have gloves. Yes, we do. We have gloves. We have socks. We have shoes. We have coins. We have our little coins with the characters on them and the Kim's Krypt logo on the back. Challenge coins. They're really cool. And patches and stickers and really cool stuff. So if whatever you need, we got it. And we take credit cards too. Kim's Krypt.
Yeah, I got a Kim's Krypt of the skull, like the classic skull with the logo, like the one on the sign outside with the marquee. I got that as a pin. So
yeah.
Kim's Krypt pin. Yeah.
Really nice pins, like for your hat or for your jacket or something. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I love my gift shop, and I think that's a cool part of a haunted house. I mean, people come there and then they love it. And they want to take something home. Come get a souvenir. So that's why we're expanding it because it used to be half the size, and then we doubled it, and now we need to double it again because sometimes it gets so crowded that people walk out, and we don't want that. We want everybody to get a little something, get a little something at Kim's Krypt.
The Haunted Mill is easily one of the longest haunted attractions I've ever walked through. I really like that, and you encapsulate a lot of different themes as well. It's not just one theme. And you already know what I thought of that basement. That basement's really creepy.
It is. It really is.
But you talked about it a little bit earlier, but that saw effect you see in there is so cool. And was that there already on the property when you bought it?
Are you okay? Are you talking about
in the mill, the giant saw that's going?
Okay, you're talking about the giant saw that's cutting the person.
Yeah.
No, we built that by hand.
Wow.
My guys built that by hand and created that big saw that cuts through the body, and the guys laying there, and the body that you see was built by Trixie. She made that. So I have a lot of talented people. I mean, electricians and builders and set designers, and I am truly blessed and thankful for the people that I have working for me. And because a lot of people say, "Oh, you." It's not just me. I have a great crew. And I want to, shout out to them. They're awesome. They're amazing. And they built that thing, and you can hear it like it makes the little chain sound, and it goes. That's neat. So that's like our little torture area. We have that going on, and we're going to expand on that as well. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up. A lot of people don't say anything about that, but yeah, that was I love that. And we have like a little we have a little area where there's like a pendulum, and that moves too, and it's supposed to squirt people. I don't know if it squirted you at that time. I think you did get squirted from the barrel lady, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Yep. That's unavoidable.
I love that. She comes up right in the face, even at Christmas time.
Yes, even Christmas.
I was gonna turn it off. I said we should probably turn that off and not put water in it and just spray air at the people for Kim's Kryptmas. And then I got to thinking about it, and I went, you know what? Somebody's going to remember that, and they're going to want to get squirted in the face, or they're going to want their friends. So we're going to put it on. We're not going to, because they can always wipe their face. So I left it. You saw the swamp scene too in the in the horror.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Lasers, and that's a hazer that we used to make that. And then people popping up and that alligator coming up. That's really neat. And we're going to expand on that as well. That's cool. And we're going to add some kind of that swampy effect, something to that in the trail too. We're going to change it up, but I'm not going to give too much away what we're doing, but we're going to kind of incorporate definitely more in the trail. We're revamping the House of Eyes this year too. So we're going to be changing that, new rooms, new designs, new characters, new concept. It's going to be totally different. And I think people are going to be blown away because everything we do has to top what we did last. Everybody's like, oh, I love the mill. Oh, I love the horror. So they got to love the House of Eyes as well with our new changes. And we hope to see you there at Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill, halfway to Halloween, April 29th, 30th, and May 1st. And then the Halloween season for 7 weekends. And we always open the second to the last week of September straight through to Halloween night. And we are open Halloween night as well. KimsKrypt.com, spelled with K's, not C's.
Awesome. So
hold on. I got my severed head.
Okay. Yeah, get your severed head. She has a severed head of herself. There you go.
Yeah, this is her hair's a little ratty, but yeah, this is me. It's a replica of myself, and the tongue moves. I don't know if you can see it. And Cookie made this really cool severed head. And this is actually the second one that I've had in my 29-year career. So this is cool. I had another one, but it started getting real ratty. And also when I played in my band Scarlet Angel, it's on my drum set, right in the middle of the two toms. It sits there. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm probably the only one that walks around with my own severed head when we're open, but that's just like one of the things I do. And I love it. I love this. Oh, and I just got some new props. Me and a buddy of mine, Carlos from Hackney Haunts, they're like 45 minutes away in Westminster. We went and drove 4.5 hours to Pure Terror in New York, and we got a bunch of new props. He got some for his haunt, and I got some new animatronics, some new props from Midnight Studios, Unit 70. What else do we get from Distortions and Poison Props? We got some really cool stuff. And Ghost Ride Productions, we got some real nice stuff. So when you come through this, you're gonna remember this. You're gonna say, I know where she got that. Yeah. So it's really cool. And I get new props all the time. I buy some from Carlos because he'll like buy props, do his haunt, and then sell them to me because he redoes his haunt every year. So I'm like, that's cool. That'll work. So, and I would like to
interview them at Hackney Haunts.
Yeah.
That would be an interview. I would love to interview the owners down there.
Yeah, I know Jason and Carlos very well. We're very good friends and we work together. And that's the way it should be in the haunt industry. There should be no animosity. And I mean, I have none. I like, you guys would come here. I come to see you guys. It's like, we're all in this together and it's a family. That's the way I look at it. So yeah, Carlos and Jason are great. And they're amazing. Carlos does great work and he underestimates himself. I said, be proud of who you are and what you do. Oh, when we were going yesterday, we were going up to New York. We stopped at the tolls. So I give him my money and give him a flyer. I said, give this to the lady, get a receipt. And every toll person got a flyer. Everywhere I went, we stopped to go to the bathroom, get some gas. Everybody gets a flyer. I'm a marketing fool. Everywhere I go, doctor's office, dentist office, grocery store, walk around the block. I always have flyers because you never know who you're going to see. And be proud of what you do and who you are. And I am proud of Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill.
I have been John from the Haunt Informer.
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
Yes. And this has been episode 21 of Fall Informer. And thank you very much for being on, Kim.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. At Kim's Krypt Haunted Mill, Spring Grove, PA, kimskrypt.com. You guys are awesome. We hope to see you this Halloween season.
Yes. Awesome.